Hi there, everybody. Happy New Year, 2026. Here we go. My guest today is Michael Maurer, Kriegel's younger brother by 8 years, longtime test pilot for Advance, lives there in Frutigen, and he and I ran into each other, spent a bunch of time together, and had an awesome chat during the Red Bull X Alps this year at the Nissen, at the bottom of the Nissen. Flew down, I think the second day I was there, and took a swim in the river, and then saw him and went over and said hello. I hadn't seen him since the Grindelwald PWC, and he and I just had an awesome conversation about his brother and risk and hike and fly racing, and we went all over the place. And so I've been dying to get him on the show and kind of recreate a bunch of the things we talked about and get his thoughts on family. He's got 3 younger boys, and his thoughts on getting them into flying and approaching risk and training and mindset and all kinds of wonderful things. So it's a great one to kick off the new year. I hope you enjoy this conversation with Michael Maurer. Cheers. Michael, happy holidays. We're a couple days before Christmas, and you've got a house full of folks, and so do I. You got 3 boys, so I appreciate you carving out some time in the probably a busy time of year for you and having a chat. How are you?
Hi, Gavin. Nice to meet you here. I'm good. It's as you said, it's a full house, and almost every evening a good dinner.
Yeah.
And it's my heavy time of the year. And
you put on some weight.
Yeah, exactly. So I enjoy it, even though it's like this Christmas stress kind of.
Sure.
But it's also a nice time of the year. So, but this year it's not much snow outside, so it's not the same feeling. But still, it's time for holidays and enjoying the snow, what we have, and go out skiing and flying, whatever I like in the winter.
Yeah, I know Europe is having a similar, we don't have any snow over here. We've just this week gotten our first series of storms, and this is in Fahrenheit, but it's 40 degrees outside right now. I mean, this is a very typically cold part of the country, and it's just been so warm. This storm, half of it was rain. It's been very bizarre. It's been a weird one so far. Hopefully it'll chill up and get white.
Yeah, it's kind of similar here. It's warm, and it's like this south wind phone.
Yeah,
which is it was actually quite good flying conditions the last few days or weeks, but it's actually not what we're looking for in winter.
Yeah, right.
But we take it, yeah. But it's way too warm, so it's one layer less in general than normally we needed.
The weather's getting scary, isn't it? It's getting more and more bizarre.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. What does the winter typically look like for you? Is it more testing than in the summer? You're a test pilot for Advance. How long have you been doing that?
I started testing at Advance since in 2013.
Oh wow!
So it's
12 years,
13 years. This next summer, actually, 12 and a half year. And normally I was flying the whole year, and in winter it was the kind of busiest time to finish wings to be ready for next spring sales in next spring. And now the last 2 years I changed a little bit also to the office, and with the family I don't like to travel for weeks to test in like Tenerife to finish wings in the good thermals. So I changed a bit to the office, do more harness development as well, and fly as much as possible in winter here, which can be also very nice, more soaring conditions or like weak thermals and quite short thermal windows. So it's interesting to make the best out of the day.
Does the Nissan stay open all winter? Do they run that
No,
curriculum?
they close. They are open till mid of November, and they will open again approximately end of April,
Ah, okay.
something like that. Yeah.
Michael, if someone that doesn't know you at all runs into you in Fruitigan, you're at the grocery store or something, and that you start up a conversation, kind of like you and I had at the bottom of the Nissan during the race, during the X Alps this summer, but assuming that person doesn't know you like I did, and we're not necessarily going to talk about paragliding, and they ask you what you do, how would you answer that?
Whew, it almost never happened. I don't talk much actually with people I don't know. So unless they talk to me, so I answer back. And yeah, but I would say I'm a test pilot for paragliders, and normally that gives a good base for a conversation. So they
Mm,
ask about mostly first question is, "Oh, isn't it dangerous?"
yeah.
And I can explain, or I will explain how it works, and yeah, basically that's the way it goes. Yeah.
How would you answer that? Is it dangerous?
Yes, it is. Paragliding in general is dangerous. Um, Testing itself is for sure more dangerous than just flying around with the wing. Mm, you fly every day, and it's mostly dangerous because you're out even if it's rainy or windy, and conditions can challenge yourself quite a lot. And for sure, you wanna test the wing on its limit, and this is something you have to learn to find or you have to know where your limit is, and where you start to feel the limit of the wing to not, or there are also different limits of the wing, so it's more dangerous limits and less dangerous limits, let's say. And over the years you can learn this, and for sure, as always, you do some mistakes and you don't do them again, hopefully. So you
Do
learn
you
like that. Yeah.
I would I'm just imagining. I've never been a test pilot, but does overconfidence play kind of a role in what you do, or maybe early? I mean, is there? I would, if it was me. You and I talked about this during the X Alps. You get this kind of boost in confidence, which is good. You want that, but it can also be a little bit risky that you're in this kind of
Hmm.
nothing can get me mode. Does that play a role in being a test pilot? That I'm not going to screw this up. I'm a test pilot. I do this all the time.
Yeah, it can be, but mostly it happens in competitions where you have, like, let's say, one chance. You have to follow the leaders. You have to push somewhere where it is not comfy to fly. And in testing, you can go step by step, or that's what I learned from Hegel. He taught me to go step by step. And the good thing is, for to test the wing, we have time. We can actually take us time to go step by step, and that means if we are not comfy, we don't have to do it that day, let's say. And in the competition, you if you don't do it that day, you may out of the comp final result. And this is a good point about testing.
How did you get into flying? Was it because of your brother?
Yeah, basically, yeah. I was I don't know exactly, it was 12, 13 years old when I was uh, let's say, I was bored. I didn't knew what to do, and watching TV a lot. And he first bought me an RC sailplane.
Hmm.
So he enabled me to fly with the RC gliders, and I did it for a few years. And then when I was 15, he was talking to my mom that I should do the school, or I could do the school, and he was also paying me the equipment, everything. He basically, how do you call this? Paved the path to flying.
He was your sponsor.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I paid back everything. I hope so. No, it was like 6,000 Swiss francs. He was paying for me, and it was before I was or I was in school still. I have no money. I had no chance to do that, and he was working for Advance, and so he had some like a harness, a used harness to use to rescue and everything. But yeah, like that, I got into flying, and before he took me for tandem flights a couple of times, and for sure he knew it will be something I like, and so it was, and it's still something I really like, or I like the most about what I do. Uh, for sure, without Gretel, I would not be here or where I am now in paragliding, and also as a human. Yeah.
How much has he? You know, your brother is. What shall we say? I mean, he's won everything. I mean, he's the most famous pilot in our sport. You know, I always say when most people, especially over here, don't know anything about paragliding, and so when I describe the X Alps or something, and I start talking about your brother, I'll say, you know, he's the Kelly Slater of our sport. You know, he's won everything. How much has his? You're 9 years different. Is that right?
8 years.
8 years. Okay. How much has his own flying trajectory impacted yours? And what I mean by that is what you've done with your career. Has it been competitions, XC flying? You guys had this amazing video. I don't remember. There's a few years ago where you flew all day together. You know, how has that impacted what you have pursued in flying?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think the fact that I fly paraglider because of him, yeah, I don't know if I would have done it by myself with like 18 years old when I would have had the money. Probably not. But after the flying school, and yeah, we flew, or I could join him at his work as a test pilot as well. So I could always collect some informations about how they fly, what they do, and about conditions and whatever. And so it was not really like some. It was not like I was learning from him. He did not teach me like some one-to-one lesson. It was more like we flew together. I was always flying with the best Swiss pilots, most or quite often, not always, but I grew up in an environment which was like the top of the sport. So this shaped me as a pilot, I think, quite a lot. So the style I fly, I think while flying, I think that's because he took me with him to work, or I was joining him also on some competitions later, and then for sure also like the steps to go higher in the categories until competition wing, and he always he found a good way to push me, but not to push too much. Yeah. So that's, I cannot explain exactly why, or how, but it has an impact. Yeah.
Is there a sense of big? I mean, with 9 years, or sorry, 8 years, that's quite a difference. Is there kind of a big brother, you know, want to keep you safe, keep you under my wing kind of thing? Is there a, you know, hey, push, but not too much. Don't, or maybe don't be like me in a sense. I don't know. Is there kind of a be careful or?
I think in the beginning he was not telling me to like be careful here, don't do that. He was more like, yeah, try, you will see. And if I did or would have done something really dangerous, let's say flying in strong winds, anyway, he would have told me. But I I think he was not telling me too much to not think by myself anymore. I would say. And I am my personal, like, I am not the person which is pushing too much by my natural. I think I am more like I need some time to get to a certain level, let's say, or it took me some time, I would say, and I think he knows that, and he was never afraid I will push over my limits or too far over my limits. Yeah. We never spoke about that. Maybe it's different. Yeah. I just remember once we packed my rescue, my Rogallo, and then I had to throw the reserve while flying Acro, training the Infinite, and 1 week later I was calling him again. We should pack it if he can show me again. After that I did it myself, but I never used it anymore since then. And yeah, I don't know if maybe he was thinking his things, but we don't talk too much about like direct stuff. I think when we are flying, we are both more like communicating without words, kind of.
Is there any kind of brotherly competition between the two of you? Is there enough gap, or there's just enough difference, or he's Kriegel is Kriegel.
Yeah.
Not everybody can be Kriegel. I mean, I imagine it's kind of okay. I don't need to touch that, but is there any of that between the two of you?
Not this, not like this. Not it's more like I was very happy when I met him, but it was more like, yeah, he had a bad day, or somehow I was very lucky. But he was always, or he is still, for me, he's still a pilot, which is way ahead of my skills, let's say, or of my. I mean, he can maybe technically we can do the same, but he can put it on point, and that's what I miss. I can't be as constant as he is, and for me, I'm a competition, like how do you say that? I like competitions, yeah. But I can also say, like, it's good, it's done. I don't push more, and even before I go to my limits, let's say. So I'm not as I don't know the English word, like strict.
Bold.
Bold, yeah, probably, yeah. So okay. I really looking up to his constant motivation to really push at a high level, because even though we are kind of same skill level, it's still he is way more experienced, and still my hero. Yeah.
Yeah, that's he's many people's hero. He's my hero too.
Yeah.
I don't want to make this all about your brother, but I do. We had a really cool conversation when you and I talked during the race. At the bottom of the Nissan there. I think the question I phrased was, "Does it make you nervous? Does what he does, all these X Alps, it's in some ways it's kind of a numbers game, right? you had a nice answer for that. Does knowing the risk that he's taking, does it make you nervous?
Yeah, I don't know the answer anymore, but I think it was kind of. It doesn't. In a way, it makes me nervous, but it's not that I am afraid he goes over his limits. So I know he knows his limits very well, and his abilities to push in certain conditions. So it's not that I am nervous about that. So it's more often I'm nervous because like this year at the last day it was nail biting for myself. Even I was always thinking like, yeah, Aaron will struggle somewhere and they will overpass him. And I was like, no, it doesn't look like that. And I was like nervous he will lose, yeah, but not. I'm not nervous that he will hurt himself. Like
Yeah.
for sure, it can happen, but it can also happen while training, and that's like even a higher risk actually. And no one talks about this, but he is out every day, and he knows his limits exactly, and yeah, that's something maybe I also like since I remember like what about flying he or since I remember about flying he was always on a high level and pushing hard, and it's kind of normal how we fly, let's say.
It would be remiss of me to not ask you, when he didn't win this time, I think all of us were a little nervous. I'm on the media side of things what do we say? But he, of course, such a gentleman. I mean, he's such a sports person. He was a true gentleman about it. But you've kind of got the inside track. So I have to ask, how is he approaching now? What did that do to his psyche? Does it just motivate him more, or what are we going to see the next time?
I think he knows why. So that's one big point, and maybe he didn't knew it exactly during the race, but I think so. And I was
by that you mean the
watching gear and like conditions were not like difficult enough to show his skills. Let's say.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And also, like I was listening to his speech a few weeks ago, and he told like he was trying some different moves, and everyone was waiting for his magic move, and he never got into this flow, like what where he could do whatever he wants, and it works. And I think I can exactly. I know it from myself. If you're not in the flow, sometimes even though you have good material or you have your best conditions you can wish for, it's somehow hard, or it's that point you have to learn how you get into this flow. And for sure, this year the material was quite a big point, and somehow he said it was one of his best race, and I think or he can handle it very good because he knows exactly he did. He had a very good preparation. He was ready, and it was just not the material. The conditions were not fitting. It was not, the puzzle was not all together. So he is very motivated for the next edition. Yeah,
that's great.
And we are motivated to improve our material.
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's other lessons there, isn't there? I was blown away that he was the oldest this year. Usually I'm that guy.
Was he?
Yeah,
I didn't knew.
Yeah, he was the
Yeah,
oldest this year, which is, that's crazy to think. I mean, because he's not old,
yeah,
but
no.
um,
Yeah.
how about you in competition? You were the 2019 Swiss champion. You live in a country with many, many good pilots, so that's a huge achievement. But I remember you and I talking about that. It's not something you're pursuing as much. Is that right? Do I have that right? You're not pursuing that as much.
You mean the Swiss champion title?
Well,
Or
just or maybe international competitions.
yeah, it's something I really like to do, but it was never like I'm not like that's not my everything. I do everything for it, so it's something as I or just mentioned here. It's something I when I am in the flow, I really like it, and some quite often I just enjoy not being in the flow, but flying with friends and good friends. So we are some pilots from, like, let's say, the older generation. We have this kind of same flying style, and this is the best fun. And if it matches everything, it's the result is for sure something which is valuable, but it's not the main point.
Tell me more about flow. How do you find your flow? How do you have kind of secrets to get there, to get into it, stay in it?
Yeah, it has to be in the mailbox in the morning, otherwise I don't find it. No, it's hard to say. For me, it was interesting. I was flying for a long time with the gin competition wings, Boomerang 9, 10, 11, and the style of the 11 didn't fit my how do you say likes. I didn't like the wing that much. It was
Mm.
good performing, but quite a bit difficult to fly. And then for 2019, I changed to the Nivux I speak Evox.
Yeah, that was a lovely wing.
And yeah, I really liked this wing, and it was easier to fly, a lot easier to fly than all the other wings. But it was also a bit slower, and a little, or performance wise, it was maybe the same, but it was a little bit more difficult to follow.
Mm.
And funny was that it was kind of the easiest year for me. So it was, I really enjoyed the material, flying with these wings, with the harness. The setup was all right, and then flying was just going. So I was in the flow, and it was the same for like the last few years with the hike and fly material. If the material, the mindset, everything works together, the flow is there. And if not, it's I find it in not like other ways. I search for like small goals during a competition, where I set, yeah, let's say I want to have a good start. I want to be at the start line on point, and I want to be the first at the first turn point. So that's a bit easier to achieve than to be the first in goal. So these small steps, I try to take the focus out of like the main comp or the main
Mm.
ranking. Is like, yeah, enjoy little things during the race. That's how I or also like during the year. I mean, it can be that I have a year where I'm not in the flow, in at work or wherever, and yeah, try to break down to small steps and Like sometimes it's even working from Monday to Friday to enjoy Saturday, Sunday. So
Ah,
it can be even if I work as a paragliding pilot, which I really enjoy. It can be weeks where I don't like flying. So it's not for me now. It's kind of a normal job, and it's hard to stay in the flow all the time,
hmm.
and I have to search the flow as well in the work. So it's a little bit the same in every aspect. Yeah.
When you're struggling with it at work, it sounds like if you make little goals, that's what helps. Kind of setting little achievements. You know, like you said, okay, I'm gonna have a good start. Okay, I'm gonna have a good. I'll be with the gaggle to the first turn point. That kind of thing. Just having step by step. Does that work? That works at work as well.
Yeah, it's something. It's something. It works for me personally. Works in kind of every situation.
Huh.
Um, it's just hard to find the right goals.
Right.
This is sometimes almost similar hard to let's say win a competition, um, because if you think you want to achieve a certain goal, but this goal is maybe not what you maybe it's a goal for someone else, and you want to achieve the same. Maybe
Hmm.
this does not fit the situation, and then it's you have to find out what motivates you. So that's can help also for testing. Let's say if I have a bad day, if I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh, today I don't want to do maneuvers. I don't like to do. Sometimes easy wing can be quite nasty. So
Hmm.
uh, then I sometimes say let's focus on like one specific maneuver to get used to it, or to to get away from another bad maneuver, and focus a bit more on that what is working, and yeah, that can be a way to find motivation and the flow. And sometimes it's even like a few flights you automatically going to the hard maneuvers again, and you start to enjoy them.
Hmm.
The challenge is then different. Yeah.
It sounds like maybe by just staying focused on the process rather than the results.
Yeah, yeah, that's a topic, I think. Yeah.
What do you mean by that? That easy wings can be nasty?
Yeah, for like beginner's wing, they always should fly, so they can shoot. Well, depends on the position over the head. They want to fly again, and sometimes, or yeah, they also have to be kind of stable, kind of rigid, to
Mm.
not collapse. And if the balance is not right, they can be board like, and they can really shoot far forward. And sometimes you're not ready for that, because you are like, yeah, it's an easy wing.
Mm.
Let's do some maneuvers. And then you get caught by a surprise. It's normally that's where I am going step by step and not full bar collapses. I more speak about, let's say, B category wings, because B
Okay.
category is huge. It's
Yeah.
it almost can be everything, and you expect bad behaviors of a D wing, let's say, but you don't expect bad behaviors of the B wing, and there you mostly, or it's about to find out uh, the right technique to do the right size of collapse, and to have the right reaction, or to find out about the reaction. But somehow it's hard to find this this point when a wing is board-like. So it's what makes the job interesting as well. But some days are not mentally. I'm not ready for that. And the good point is working with the team. There is always one with a good day and one with a bad day, and you can motivate each other to do it either way, or to do it different, or to go a little further, or push here and or there, as well as slowing down. I mean, we are working minimum two or like three pilots together, so it's quite fun. So it's never boring, and sometimes also small competitions inside the team about doing a maneuver more sporty than the other one, or climbing up quicker than the other one, top landing before the other one. So it's always challenging. Yeah.
In recent years, most of the manufacturers, if not all, I don't pay attention much to the manufacturing side of things, but have come out with these 2-liner ENC wings, or kind of modified 2-liner wings. So better performance. People seem to really love them. I haven't actually flown any myself, but things to be aware of there. Is there been for folks that are listening that are, they've been flying the high B, or maybe they're flying a C. Is this an obvious jump? Is this a jump to take with some caution?
Yeah, it's hard to say. It depends quite a lot on the product. Actually, there are some products which are kind of easy to fly with good reaction when they collapse, but maybe they collapse, let's say, a bit too early. So they really, how do you say that? The energy is gone easily, and other products, they stay a bit more solid. You can fly a bit faster. You can fly fast through stronger turbulences, and the energy gets more and more. And you have to pilot them when they collapse. And there are some models, they are a bit less predictable when they collapse. Others are better and more easier to fly in extreme situations. And that's always a bit hard for me. I struggle a bit to really judge a sea wing proper, because it's quite new. We have not much reference wings. It's anyway, they are quite solid, so it happens not that often that you see big collapses. It depends a bit. So it's hard to say how in what direction or where to go. So it's also like on the B category. So it's spreading more and more. And where is it? C or let's say a heavy, a difficult C wing or an easy D wing. This border is not clear. Similar to where is it the B wing or where is it the C wing, and it can be challenging. And there I think we will learn more and more in the future what works, what not. And as always, I think we will have some products which are amazing and really prove to be good, and others they will be challenging to fly. And for sure we will learn faster because we have more and more pilots. And it's a category where a lot of pilots feel home. I would say it's D wings sometimes are a bit too much demanding for some pilots, and they really like to step back to a C-wing, but still it's a two-liner, and it's still good performance, good speed, and the feeling of a two-liner flying is different than a three-liner with the kind of similar steering characteristic. But yeah, you know it exactly. It's kind of unique, this two-line flying, I would say. Yeah. Interesting what's going on.
Is paragliding growing in Switzerland?
I don't know exactly if growing, but yeah, I think for sure it was quite popular during COVID. It was quite a lot, or after COVID. It's or that time. If it's still growing or if it's steady, I don't exactly know. But we have quite a lot of pilots in our area. Yeah.
Yeah, you have a lot of pilots in your area.
Yeah.
It's very visible there.
Yeah.
Do any of your kids fly?
Not yet.
How
The
old are
oldest
they?
one, 8, 6, and 4. So
Okay. I
a
thought they were
bit
a
too
little older.
young.
Yeah, they're a
They
bit too
join me
young.
for flying. Yeah. I
Okay.
took the oldest one is really like flying tandem. He's enjoying thermals and being high until he gets cold.
Right.
But he's saying he wants to fly once. Yeah. But for now they go for on the flat to do
Okay.
ground handling to be ready for the school.
Yeah. Would you want them to be pilots?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I want to show them like every possibility,
Yeah.
or they should choose whatever they like, and I don't want to restrict them in any point, because I think if they do what they like, they can do it safe. The only thing I don't want to have them doing is everything a little bit. If they want to fly, they don't play hockey or whatever at the same time, which can be time consuming as well. So I want to have them choosing kind of a hobby. It sounds a bit hard, but they should know that if they want to fly, it takes time, and they have to do it proper. That's the main point. I mean, yeah, flying is dangerous and or can be dangerous, but it's beautiful in the same time, and they have to know about the risks. And in Frutigen we have the Cloud 7, the school, which is well known for its ground handling education, and yeah, they're practicing a lot of ground handling. I think that's one good step to be a safe pilot already, and like that they know how much time it takes to really practice, and you have to do it again and again. And if they like it, they can continue. If they don't like it, they better stop, I would say. But I don't know. It will be in 7 years, and maybe it's looking different when he can
who
actually
knows, right?
start the school. Yeah.
The kids, who
We'll
knows
see.
what they'll be into. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's part of the fun. When you look back at your own career in flight, would you change anything if you could go back to maybe even that first year? Would you go back now with the knowledge you have and tell that Michael something different?
I would take a mustache back to that time. Paraglide. It's quite fun to fly. No, actually, like one very important thing was the school for myself. With Schmatz, the teacher, he is doing it well with this ground handling lessons, and I'm with Griegel. I had like a user manual for paragliding, which is still like growing, and I can still ask questions, and that was extremely helpful. So no, I
I like that
actually
your
I
brother's a
have
user manual. That's great.
living user manual. Yeah, so it's no point I would do different, because yeah, I have like some small points maybe where I would say, like, let's say it was a bit stupid to do a ground spiral in high grass, uh, but when I go back I don't know it, so I would do it again to know it.
Right.
And
Cheap mistake.
exactly, so
Yeah.
mistake to learn, let's say. And for sure I was lucky a few times, but I think it was also in other things I did. And no, I would do it again like that.
This is always something that I struggle with how to articulate or tell, mentor. I feel that if you don't have these cheap mistakes, it's pretty hard to learn. But we've all been at this game long enough where, for example, if my daughter decides to get into paragliding, uh, as your sons might, how do you help them navigate that road? Because I mean, a collapse on the wrong side near the terrain, there's not much you can do. That
Hmm.
that really does come down to luck, versus
Hmm.
training, ground handling. I mean, there's all these things we know. You have to do. You can't take shortcuts. There's all the
Yeah,
cliches, right? But how do you
yeah,
how do you know how do you gain this knowledge without ground spiraling in too tall a grass? You know what I mean?
yeah. What I can see now, like yeah, a good example. It never happened like that, but the good example is always when a kid is in the kitchen, and you tell them the kitchen where you cook is hot, the plate, and they still touch it until they feel it's hot, or with
Mm-hmm.
the fire somewhere. Um, you can't tell them something, but they still do it too. Because if you tell something, it's not the same learning, let's say. And if you tell too much, I would say, um, you stop, uh, you stop. How do you say it? You take them the opportunity to learn.
Yeah.
If you, I see it the same way as Rickle did it with me. When I asked him, "How do you fly a helicopter?" He said, "Yeah, just try it." Like, for sure, he explained me, or I knew it already from talking with other pilots. But like, you have to brake, and then one side it has to fly again. So, but yeah, how exactly? So yeah, you have to try.
Yeah.
You
Right.
have to experience yourself, the feeling you have to get yourself. You can't get it from spoken words. It's I would say the only thing they have to know is that paragliding can really seriously hurt them if they do it wrong. And they should know, like, some fundamental things which are also valid in other in living in general, let's say.
Mm.
And if they know that, and something where I still stick on it was what Kriegel told me, is this step by step strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is the only thing they have to know. Actually, I don't know exactly. Maybe when they get older and maybe more specific to something, maybe it will change, or I will find out other teaching. What do you say? How to teach? Yeah,
Yeah. That's a tricky one. It's hard.
yeah.
You do quite a bit of hike and fly racing and competing. When you're kind of, as we turn over the new year here and go into 2026, what keeps you excited about flying? Is it objectives? Is it, what is it? What are the things that you really look forward to as we skip into the new year?
Yeah, in winter it's almost a bit like I don't think too much for now about my goals for next season. The only thing which was changing quite a lot now is that I want to keep my training, my physical training, endurance training during the winter a little bit, even though it's off season now. I do gym and like a little bit of running and skiing, which is not really training but still moving around. And then let's say in January, February, I start to think about which competitions I want to do. What I know now is that I want to do some competitions, and I think it will be next year mainly or only hike and fly competitions, because this is easier to do for me beside the family, and it's like 1, 2, or the Acro tour is 4-day competition, so it's just a weekend. You have to stay away from the family, and also what I think is we have like the Swiss Cup, where we know the competitions, and I think I want to mix now with some competitions I already joined and some new competitions to see new terrain and maybe new style of competitions. But the final planning will happen in the new year. But the motivation is now the endurance training combining with flying. So yeah, exactly. So I would say 4 years ago, I always told like, no, that's not something I want to do, but somehow I got into it, and I quite enjoy it, and that's where I see somehow now when Frigel is getting older, I can, if I would do it a bit more serious, I could could maybe catch up somewhere. At least for short races, not for 5 days or 6 days, but yeah.
Oh, I hope he listens to this. That'll motivate him even more.
Yeah, maybe he's not listening 50 minutes.
Yeah, right. We lost him a few minutes ago.
Good. Yeah, exactly. No, it will be interesting. Yeah.
In the Swiss Cup and competitions, are you now flying? You're on the X1, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. This is a good wing. Bit challenging as well if you don't fly it too much or good enough. I don't do many hours on the comp wing in these years, so it takes me always like one day to get into it properly. But nice to fly in general.
How do you approach your SIV with your X1 or just with the really high end two liners? Your brother and I had a pretty interesting conversation, around this whole civil debate that's going on a couple months ago. And he was saying the same thing. We just, not many of us, I mean, very, 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 very few do much with these wings outside of competitions. We leave them in the bag. We pull them out, go to a comp, get done, come back, put it back in the bag. We're not doing a lot of training. Typically, I'm sure there are some, but there's not many. I'm guilty as charged. I don't either. I haven't had my X1 out since my last comp in August.
Yeah. Yeah, last year it was like I was flying the World Cup in Grindelwald.
Yeah,
and then I had it in the bag until August this year for the Swiss Championship. So it was quite tough to. It was over 1 year. I did not fly it, and definitely this is not enough. I mean, I fly every day, so it was okay. I mean, don't want to say I was safe. I don't like to say that anyway. Um, but I think it was safe enough to fly this wing, or it's still safe enough to fly this wing because I fly quite often with the D wing with my Omega, and I do stalls and rough conditions with this wing. So for sure I have to adapt with the X1, but to be honest, I never did a proper full stall with the X1. So it's all my training I do is with D wings or while testing. I think it for myself, like when I fly from Monday to Friday with I do stalls, I do collapses, everything. I don't see the point to do stalls with the X1. It's, let's say, somehow too similar to a D wing, and in real conditions you don't use like I think so. You don't use like a proper full stall where you fly it symmetrically and everything, like in the labor, like in the
test environment.
like, yeah, exactly. And I I think for the most people, an SIV course is important to feel the stall point of the wing, to feel what happens when I go low with the brake, or when I go one side, when I spin. But this practice I have every day with other wings, and this point, yeah. Again, I don't want to say I am 100% confident with that, but to fly different wings each day, or yeah, to play around with different behaviors of wings is something. It creates a feeling of or not the feeling, well, yeah, a feeling in the stomach how to react to a certain behavior. So it's quite often it's not like, oh, I have to stall it. Other, it's more like I do something to stop a reaction of the wing, and then
never let it get there.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not. I plan to do it, or I want to do it. It's more something happen in the feeling in the back head of. You do it automatically.
Yeah. You're never having to get that far, really.
With the X1, my main goal is to really keep it open.
Open. Yeah.
For now, I go out of the bar too early to not have any limit situation, let's say.
Right.
When I don't have this much flying on the wing, and also when I have like an unloading or any situations, I have to react before it actually happens. Don't want to be too lazy as well, and this is my SIV. Let's say it's my training. It's building up the feeling to react blind to any situation. That's what I try to. Yeah. But in the same time, I don't say I can't do it in every situation, because it's quite complex.
What do you say to the? Maybe this is also a cliche, but what do you say to the? I hear this all the time, that Advance, Nivic, Jin, by them playing in the CCC field, by making CCC wings, competition wings, then that technology filters down through the rest of the line. As far as I know, Advance has never played in the competition end of the scale. Is that valid, invalid?
No, I think this is something. Let's say CCC wings, they are not worth to get money for the company. But the experience you gain with CCC wings, you can scale down to get money. It's simply spoken. And for us, it is. We did some prototypes where we could learn some things, but it was never. It was back in, I don't remember exactly, 2016, 2015, where we had Patrick von Kannel flying a competition prototype in a World Cup in, I think it was Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Back at this time, we had a few prototypes where we tried to really increase performance and speed to have something for us to fly competitions. But beside of all other projects, it was not worth to really push hard like other brands doing. And still, we could learn a lot for let's say the Omega, and most research we do now is with the Omega, and we take it from there to the Sigma, or from the Omega to the C and B wing, and this is something we always speak like, or we always say like we should do competition wings, or maybe don't call them competition wing, but high aspect ratio wings. Also for cross country flying, this would be more interesting for us, like for me, because it gives you more performance, and in the morning and the evening you can have better or weaker climbs. You take everything with you, and also as a training, I mean, it's not only to have research for the company, it's also if I fly a competition wing, my OXA feels very easy after. Where I feel like, wow, a D wing is already quite demanding in certain conditions. When you fly the X1, a D wing is like, yeah, it's less energy, less or more compact, so it's easier to fly, even though it was hard 1 week before.
Right.
And this aspect is something we should work on something. It helps.
It helps
The pilots, the company, everywhere. Just not the money, the budget.
Yeah, right.
This is something. But I mean, we always should have. Every company has like its field for research and playing around. Also for like single skin wings, it's Acro wings. It's all the same category actually.
Yeah. Okay, take your time with this one. This is a hard one. But last question. When you think back on your entire field career of flying all this time, just what comes to mind your most special flight and why?
I would say I don't have one specific flight. It's sometimes quite small flights, or not really. Yeah, like it's a bit of standard answer, I think. But I think for now, the first thing popping out is this like 200K flight. We got escorted by a helicopter, which was filming around. The one you spoke before.
Yeah.
We took off in Zermatt, and we flew along the valleys, and this was kind of enjoying the fact that we can fly with the wind, and we can land wherever we want. The helicopter will land next to us and flying back to the car. normally you have to travel hours with the train to come back home when you do one-way flights, and we had the helicopter with us. I think it was not planned to join us all the way to the landing, but then they decided somehow. It was Swiss TV that was a Swiss TV production, and they somehow decided to spend a bit more money because the project was interesting, and I don't know the circumstances, and that was fun. And it's always kind of everything what I do together with Regel for me is interesting and special, because we have the same flying style, so it's we don't have to talk much and to prepare much to do something nice. Maybe it's not like perfect, like some very, or one of the memorable
Memories?
flights.
Oh, memorable, yeah.
Is the Acro show in Adelboden for the ski World Cup. First it's
when you guys did the synchro stuff.
Exactly, yeah. So we fly once a year synchro together, and that's there. I'm always surprised how synchronized we are without practice ever. Yeah. Very little practice. And he is commenting on the radio to the goal of the skiers.
Yeah.
And
so they can so it's live.
It's live, exactly.
All the spectators can hear him. Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. And I am commenting the commandos when to exit the spiral or whatever.
Okay.
And this works extremely nice together with Kriegel. We don't have to speak much. Quite often we walk to the helicopter and we speak what we want to do, for what maneuvers we want to do. And the best thing, but also extremely, or the most challenging thing mentally for myself is the landing in front of like 20,000 people in this
stadium.
And you swoop the fans. Yeah, stadium. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we land. We fly like 2 meters over the heads of the spectators and land into this stadium. This is when it's done. It's one of the best things ever. But doing this is quite mentally.
Yeah, that's nerve-wracking. You don't want to screw that up.
Yeah. You have quite a lot of possibilities to mess up, and a lot of media guys around, a lot of cameras around, and yeah. So these two things is always something very special. And also, I could not do it without Kriegel. He is organizing everything because he is Kriegel. He can do stuff like that, and yeah, this is very special because no one. I mean, someone else could do an Acro show at the ski World Cup, but it's quite a few points where I have possibilities to do special things because of him.
It's you two have from what I can tell, at least you have a really nice relationship. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed talking to you for all those hours at the bottom of the Nissan. I know your wife really wanted you to get home, but we had a nice chat during a nice time of the race. That was quite special. But Michael, thanks for sharing all this. You're quite articulate about all this, how you fly and your thoughts on everything. I appreciate it. And yeah, bud, Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much, Kevin. It was a pleasure to talk with you again. And I hope to see you soon. Live.
Me too. Yes, me too. Live. That would be good. Awesome. If you find that Cloud-Based Mayhem valuable, you can support it in a lot of different ways. All of them incredibly important to keep this show going. You can give us a rating on whatever platform you listen to. You can blog about it on your website or share it on social media. You can talk about it on the way up to launch with your friends. I know a lot of good conversations have happened that way, and of course, you can support the show financially. The show does take a lot of time, a lot of editing, storage, music, behind-the-scenes cost, and all we've ever asked for is $1 a show. We put out a show every 2 weeks, so if you gave us $1 a show, that's $25 a year. Quite a bit less than a magazine subscription and way less than a latte a month. You'll notice we don't have 10 minutes of advertising at the top of the show, which we get asked to do all the time, believe me. I believe advertising is a pretty toxic business model, and I want you, the listener, to know that these conversations are just authentic people giving their opinions, and we aren't being swayed by brands. But that means we rely on you, our listener. If and only if you can support the show and it doesn't hurt your pocketbook, we'd really appreciate it. Go to the website to find various ways to support the show through Patreon or other platforms where we've gone through great lengths to minimize fees so your money gets directly to us. Becoming a subscriber gives you access to all kinds of bonus information, little nuggets that don't make it into the podcast, extra content, our Ask Me Anything shows, and a lot more. We don't put anything behind a paywall and never will. If you can't afford to support the show, just send me an email and I'll set you up with an account, no questions asked. Hopefully someday you'll be in a position where you can. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your support. We'll see you at Cloud Base.